nervous energy. I'm good. We can just go into questions.
On behalf of the local media, which can sound bitchy at times, I just want to say thank you. Is this what we needed?
Is this what we needed?
Yeah, is it a start?
That's been probably brought up a few times this year. Is this game going to move us forward? I think we had that after the Nevada game. And everyone kind of says, hey, is this your turning point? Is this your turning point? Unfortunately, you never know when the turning point is until further down the line. So would I like it to be one? Of course, like all of these ones. But at this point, we've just got to do whatever we can to get ready for Vegas on Tuesday night and give ourselves the best chance of victory.
6 players in double figures. Still had 19 turnovers. But everybody plays. Clay scores.
Yeah.
Finished the game with freshmen, and seems like the kind of game you guys probably did need at this point. But just in terms of development for the next game, how much did you need the good vibes?
I think we defended, and that's been a tough go for us this year. We got over 40 deflections, which is something that's important to me. I think that was indicative of our energy tonight. I don't know the exact times, but I thought like early to middle part of the second half, we were sputtering a little offensively. We were turning it over. We were not in a great rhythm, but we were able to get stops at the other end and kind of hold off what could have been a run for Wyoming, which was a run for Vegas, which was a run for Colorado. I told the guys at halftime, we've been here. We've been here before. We've had a good half. We felt good about ourselves, and we go out in the second half, and a couple things don't go our way, and then we just kind of just sink. And it happened against Colorado, and I thought it happened against Vegas. And I thought this game was like those moments were happening, but we were just digging in and getting stops. And that's something that we have to find a way to do going forward.
Those moments, though, to follow up on that, those moments in a week where a player leaves your team, and in a week where, or in a game where Drew Drennan doesn't suit up, I want to ask you about that.
Yeah.
And in a game where Corey Manigault plays 4 minutes and then doesn't get off the bench again, you had every opportunity, this team had every opportunity to sort of have that turmoil kind of create another bad game, a bad moment, and it didn't happen. Can you first comment on the Corey and Drew thing, and then kind of talk about getting over the fact that you had a player leave and still had a 30-point win?
As weird as it sounds, I don't think our team needs more. I realize it feels good, and I realize to a lot of people it might seem like they're down, but they just get comfortable. And, part of the reason I've tried to always do things was to get them uncomfortable. And a 3-game losing streak, gets them uncomfortable. And I think, unfortunately, when those things happen, like, ears get up. And it's just like, okay, like, this is real now. And unfortunately, I think as all of a sudden someone isn't playing, all of a sudden someone might not, like, it just creates a better awareness about our team, and we need more of that. I think when those teams get back in the game, Vegas, Colorado, whatever, I think unfortunately we have kind of an inexperienced group that thinks, hey, we're good. I think we'll be okay now. And next thing you know, things are sputtering, and next thing you know, we're, oh my God, and then now all of a sudden the game's kind of out of our reach. So I think, unfortunately, those kinds of things help our team create a sense of awareness of the moment that they're actually in. Drew had an injury in practice that at the time we just thought was a kid kind of falling on the court. But as the days have kind of progressed, he's kind of shown some symptoms of a concussion. I don't know if he's officially in the protocol right now or not, but the way we left it this morning was let's just kind of sit him and see when he kind of comes back around. And then as far as Kareem goes, Kareem obviously made a decision, and it was entirely his decision.
And Corey, too, didn't get back in.
Yeah, shoot. I mean, I've been here many times with you guys with Corey. I'm trying to coach and teach him the best way I know how. Unfortunately, there are times when he gets substituted or he gets feedback that he does not always respond appropriately, and he's going to continue to pay the same price, and maybe at some point it'll kind of turn the corner. I hope it does. But in the meantime, I'm not obviously going to sacrifice a game or him playing for behavior that I think is kind of detrimental to our overall team and culture.
I'm not trying to monopolize this, but because it's a follow-up to something you just said, the ears up moment, you guys had that with Sam and Troy last year. Everything you try as a coach and you come and tell us you're trying this, you're trying that. I mean, is it possible it wasn't ever you? It was just taking those player moments from last year that kind of rallied the team, and this was the player moment this year when Kareem left.
If you have that answer, whatever that answer is, Jeff, I'll take it. Like, and sell it. I mean, it's worth a lot of money. I don't know what can get groups to always galvanize and come together. Obviously, we were able to get last year's group to do it. This year, we're trying to get there. I don't think that was never. I mean, Kareem decided to move on his own. It had nothing to do with me, and me suspending Corey or keeping him out of a game is in the moment disciplinary issue. And obviously Drew kind of falling in practice is kind of unforeseen. So none of this has really been by design, and not necessarily those last year's either. But if that happens to be our rallying point, I'll take it, and we'll kind of see where it goes on Tuesday night.
Coach, 6 players in double figures. What do you attribute that to? And then Keith McGee, 14 points, and looked like a different player. Did he play well enough for him to earn that playing time that you want him to have?
Yeah, Keith has a little bit of like Antono Jackson to him for me. Like when he's playing, you're kind of like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, where's this gonna go? And when he's playing really well and making a lot of plays, you're like, wow, this is an electric player. And then when he kind of does 2 or 3 bad plays, and you're like, oh my God. And you unfortunately, just like Antono, I've got to give him a little bit of rope, and he is going to turn it over, and he is going to make some poor plays. But when you look up at the end, as long as the good outweighs the bad, it's like, okay, let's keep working through this. He's a sophomore. He's talented. He's gifted. When we brought him here for the style we really wanted to play, an up and down, energetic style, and he kind of fits that. He just had a couple of bumps in the road along the way here so far this season, and those were mostly off-court issues, just things where he was learning about what Division I basketball is about and what like our culture happened to be about. But I think it was the night before the UNLV game, I thought he made a really big step culturally and like emotionally with our team. And since then, he's obviously had a lot of opportunity to go out and play with that.
The 6 players in double figures. Why?
I like it, Henry. Because I think hopefully tonight by watching us, you saw that we shared the basketball, and that's something that I've even told the guys. I think I even said it at my last presser. I've gotten too individual oriented as well. Let's get this guy a shot. Let's get that guy a touch. Let's do this. Let's do that. And there are points in the game those things will emerge and you do them. But at the end of the day, we want to be a team. We want to be a team that's going to share the ball, pass the basketball, learn to play the right way. And I thought tonight that was our goal. And fortunately, at times, especially taking out the turnovers, I thought we did a good job of that.
On a lighter note, how good was it to see your reserves get some playing time and Patterson score his first points?
For sure. Obviously Jordan, said something after his block shot, which I was very, very tempted to just pull him out of the game at that point. But I thought, you know what, let's let him keep playing. The thing about Jordan and Clay, which is different than maybe some other walk-ons that I've had here, they're totally committed to this team. And they're willing to do kind of anything at any time. If I'm like, Clay or Jordan, you got to do this for the scout team or this for practice or that for whatever it may be, they're just jumping into every little scenario that we need. So obviously to see Jordan get out there and play a little bit, and then obviously Clay was terrific as well.
Awesome.
You've said before that the Lobos are not always good when being the favorites, and Wyoming has been struggling with offense. What do you tell your team to make sure they stood grounded today and just took it calmly?
I mean, we'll stay grounded because we had 19 turnovers. So I think tomorrow when we meet, we talked about it after the game. I think the Air Force game, we were good enough defensively, yet we turned it over to still win the basketball game. Against Nevada, we didn't turn the basketball over. We had 9 turnovers, and we played great defense, and obviously we won. The other games we played in, we turned the ball over and played poor defense. Tonight, we played good enough defense, just like Air Force, that even though we turned over the ball, we could win. If we ever want to really turn the corner as a program, we have to play good defense and take care of the basketball. So to me, there isn't going to be any overly sense of excitement because we didn't take care of the basketball. So we're going to go right back to trying to watch film and tinker with offense and teach skills to where hopefully we don't continue to turn the ball over this way.
Coach, you mentioned that the team shared the ball well tonight. She said today, still early. What's the challenge of getting them to do that on a game-to-game basis, no matter how you guys start a game, no matter what the score is?
That's probably more coaching than it is players. I think, like I said, and I said it at the presser this week, I've kind of gone down a road as well that I'm not very proud of or fond of what I've done as a coach, becoming a little bit just away from what I wanted us always to be, which is a team, offensively and defensively, and just engaged and playing a certain style that you will have multiple players in double figures. That's exactly how last year's team looked, and that was the intent of this year's team to look. But I think I got caught up in some things as well and went to certain things that made it maybe only be about certain guys. So this right now, hopefully, is a coaching previous error, and going forward we can get back to that and play more. We just have to find a way to do that now without turning the basketball over. We can't turn it over, that many times, no matter what we're doing offensively.
We were all excited about Carlton Bragg coming on board. Was tonight the night this afternoon, when he really showed what his potential was?
The thing with Carlton is a great talent, and I think at the end of games, maybe when he had a poor game, it's not Carlton, it's us. 22 point whatever percent of our turnovers, the highest percentage of our turnovers come from feeding the post. So it's tough for us to get it in there, and we want to get it in there, and he's doing everything he can. There's just times, unfortunately, we don't have always the wherewithal to get him the ball in the right place. Tonight we did. We practice it every day. We work on it every day. We show film on it every day of how to get it inside. I think tonight was probably the best we've been as far as consistently getting him the ball in good places on the court from the right guys with the right offensive spacing. And hopefully we'll be able to do a good job of that going forward.
Tavion played, his offensive numbers, stuff that shows up on the stat sheet isn't, overly impressive, but he played man on Justin James a lot in that first half in particular. It seemed like pretty good minutes for a freshman to throw out there on the best scorer in the league. Yeah, no,
I told the guys before the game, I've tried telling them, really, as I when I tell you guys things at pressers, I'm really just speaking the truth. Like, it's open, man. Everything's open right now. Minutes, playing time, defense, whatever it may be. Like, the idea of so-and-so, and I realize we can all get that way, but we're just trying to keep it open competition and let everybody out there feel as though they have an opportunity to play as long as they play hard, play the right way, and do the things we want. He got a little bit of a fortuitous kind of bounce because Keith got in foul trouble. Drew happened to be out. Corey happened to be kind of sitting. Things have happened. You get your opportunity, and now kind of go run with it. I mean, terrific. Dane obviously sets the tone. I think, I thought he set the tone early in the game, but Tavion has all the same physical tools that Dane does. He just happens to be 4 years younger. He's 6'5". He's long. He's a tremendous athlete. He's got good body control and has the ability to be a good defensive player.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you.